fixed my hair for you and I put on some makeup. I'm trying like this thing where I'm trying out my like date makeup to see how it lasts, because the other day I went and I walked around with like what I thought was like decent date makeup, and I wore waterproof mascara on the bottoms, and for whatever reason I looked like a freaking raccoon by the end of the day. I was like, this cannot, like, won't do. I was like, what the actual hell? So I can't be looking like that when I'm on a date. So I'm like trying out this makeup that I think should be good for when short term comes back. I'm not gonna talk about it, but our date got pushed back again, so I'm like waiting. It's kind of like excruciating waiting, to be honest, because like there was all this buildup, and now it's just like the deflation of the buildup is like kind of killing my soul, because it's like, oh, I was so ready to meet you, and then it's like, we kind of have to like half-ass maintain this until we at least meet, and then like your in-person chemistry can like carry it on after that. But like 3 weeks of just talking and not meeting, when you're like planning like a very casual thing, it's just like, so much effort. So anyways, I'm like trying out this makeup to see if it'll like last all day and like look good and stuff. Yeah, so that's that. So spoiler alert, long term came back and might be kind of like in the running again. We'll see. The reason why I have all these like things going is because everything is just so freaking delicate at this point in time. Like, you never know. Like, I thought I was having like a real good connection with, you know, these last two, and like this week has been like topsy-turvy crazy as far as like, are we not even talking anymore? Like, what even happened? So I feel like I need to throw a little bit more into the mix and get that going, just because like your girl has some issues with like, I just need some needs met. And it's getting to be kind of like really intense. I think it's like exasperated by my like IUD situation. And I kind of touched upon that in a few other videos, but I sort of wanted to talk about it a little bit because I have like massive like acne going on right now. And the majority of you guys are women who are watching this, so maybe this is interesting, maybe it's not. But I wanted to talk about all things that like lead up into like what makes you like confident and what makes you not confident. And because I really don't have too much to tell you this week about like how it's actually going. Like, it's not going. Like, I don't have a specific date with either of these people anymore. It kind of got screwed up. So I'm just kind of like in the wings waiting and kind of like eating myself alive internally as far as like, am I ready? Am I not ready? Like, you know, I'm going through this weird process of, I've gotten myself this far confidently and authentically, and now when it comes to like kind of not finish line status, but kind of like, you know, putting your money where your mouth is a little bit, like actually going on the date and being the person that like you portrayed like to them beforehand. That's why you got to the date. It's a little bit like, like, I have met people before and I have like done everything like this before, but this is like a new version of me, and it's like a more confident me, and it's like a more demanding me, and it's a more assertive me. And so I'm kind of like trying that on for size. And like, I have a tendency to like fall back into like my old habits of like, of all my thinking of like, you know, am I pretty enough? Am I this enough? Am I that enough? And it's just like, why am I not like thinking about, are they good enough? It's always like, I have to present my best self. So in my head, I'm like, okay, you got to get rid of this acne before your date number 2 or whatever comes back, and like, you guys get it in. But it's like, I might have acne some other time too. It's like, just get used to the fact that like, you can't always present your best self. Like, I understand that I want to present my best self for like the first time meeting him, but it's like, this is life, and this is just gonna have to be good enough. And like, I just have to get used to that. And I feel like that's very normal. I'm very confident in the beginning stages, as I said to you guys. You guys have seen my videos where it's like, I was having troubles getting to the part where like I even got matches, and then when I got matches I was having troubles finding the connection that I wanted, and then I was having troubles finding like the types of people that I wanted that connection from, like whittling it down more and more and more to exactly what I want. And now I'm in the position where I actually have like a crazy good match, like insanely good match for me as far as what I want, or at least what I think I want. And I'm like getting like a little bit insecure about it, and it's like, why am I doing that? I'm like, wasn't insecure about any of the other part of the process, but it's like when it becomes more real, it's like a little bit higher stakes than like procuring. So my IUD, I've had it out, or I've had it in for I think 2 months, and I think the first 6 months is when your hormones are trying to like regulate themselves back. And I've talked about this again before. It's like my hormones are such where like they're waking up. They're like, I'm feeling myself very connected to my mind and my body at the same time, instead of like all the symptoms that I feel, it's like crazy connected. I don't know how to describe it any other way besides like, here's like a TMI, but previously, before, I didn't have a lot of sensation in my chest area, like as far as like pleasure or anything. It was just kind of like, you know, whatever. And now that I'm not taking birth control with like hormones in it, I notice that my body feels different, and it feels different good. And so I'm noticing that other things feel different good as well. Like, that's my experience with everything. But at the same time, it's like, I don't really know what to do with that, because like for like 10 years, I just lived like suppressed hormones life when I was on birth control. I had like pretty decent skin. Like, I would have like hormonal acne, yes, but I'd have like pretty decent skin. But that was like the only pro to like that. Like the rest of it, like I didn't get all these like good benefits of like feeling womanly and feeling like, I don't know, like I feel like my personality is finally matching with what my body is responding to, and it's like very all in sync, instead of like, well, I feel sexy and horny, or I feel like kind of powerful, or I feel very feminine, but like my body just feels like a shell of itself, and like kind of like not responds like the way that I want it to when I feel this way. And so it's finally like kind of like coming around to like, I want to experience this for the first time this way, where it's like I can feel things and it's very connecting in like every way that I want to experience it. So it's like kind of like, okay, I have my best match for the first time in a very, very long time, and I'm very excited about this, but I'm also like, I'm getting insecure about it, because I said like I have, you know, because of my hormones, it's like purging all of my whatever, and I have like a lot of acne, and it makes me insecure. I'm like, oh my god, you gotta fix this. So I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I'm also trying to like arrange my thoughts in a way that you understand. It's not just like I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh, I have pimples. I'm like, I'm sitting here and I'm trying to be like, I want the best connecting experience, and I'm finding little baby things to like whittle away my confidence at trying to get it, and I have to get that under control, basically, because I want to take this opportunity and like really just own it, and really, because for me it's like a do or die situation. It's like, well, you can feel confident by yourself and like never like be confident with somebody else like this way, like very like, you know, the bird is back, the very like powerful and very like just authentically feminine in me. When like I normally don't, they're building that nest, I normally don't feel that way. I feel very like beta normally, like all of my mindset is very beta, and I don't feel like that anymore, and I haven't felt like that for a very long time. And so I feel like the whole like acne thing, like feeling insecure about that, is falling back into like my beta mindset. And it's like, no, you should just bring your best self. If you feel bad about it, maybe just like address it. That's how I do it. I'm like, I have this flaw, I don't feel weird about it, but like I just want you to know about it because you might see it, blah blah blah. I don't know, that's what I always like say about, I had like that butt scar where I had like my my mole like removed. You guys remember that? I had that precancerous mole removed, and it left like a scar and like kind of like an area where you can only see if you hook up with me. And so I always kind of like tell them like ahead of time to like make myself more comfortable. Hey, you might see this, it's not weird, but blah blah blah. So I kind of have to like figure out how I can do this and make myself comfortable in between just owning it. Because there's like a phase, there's owning it and being completely, you know, fine with it. And on the other end of that spectrum, there's like the beginning of the insecurity. And along that whole ride there of from the beginning to the end, I mean, it's not really to the end anyways. There's always going to be some sliding scale of whatever's going to happen as far as your confidence. Like you're never just 100% confident, but you're also never just like 100% never confident. You're always got something going. So I need to bridge the gap a little bit of how I feel about what's going on with my body and how I feel about, you know, things. So I don't know if that's even relatable, but I was having problems like kind of like with the follow through. Like I can get to the point, like very confidently, I can get to the point where I can have a good connection with them. It's flirty, it's fantastic, we wanna meet. And then when it comes time to meet, I like get really fucking nervous, like super nervous that they won't like me. And I just have to go into it just being like, well, if they don't like me, it's their loss. But I'm not there yet. Do you see that? I'm not there yet. I'm still like, I gotta do it right. And there is some level of like, you know, preparation and like putting your best foot forward, but also just being like, well, this is me, and if they don't like it, then they're never gonna like whatever happens after this, right? Because you're never always like 100% your best self. And if you see people more than once, they'll eventually see that. So I don't know, maybe it's just like heightened because it's like first meetings, but that's how I've been feeling kind of like this week, where it's like, I understand that I have this thing where I'm insecure, but I also understand that it shouldn't really be a problem. But I haven't really, I don't have any wins yet. If I had one win from one date where like I felt better about things, then fine. I could bring that win to like the next date. But since they're both, I haven't seen them both yet, I only have wins with like the getting to the date part, which I feel good about. So in every step of this process, I feel like there's like little roadblocks, and I feel like that's very normal. It's like, I'm ready for this, but am I? I'm ready for this, oh, but am I? So it's kind of like the push forward and the stopping and acknowledging that you're there, and it's like not the freaking out. I don't know why this like makes me so freaked out. Like I can do hard things. I can drive myself to new cities, and I can go find things that are worth money in like really sketchy places, and just know that it's for my business, it's for the best, I'm doing it for the purpose of this. But like when something is just solely for me, I always get excuses of like, I don't know if I should be doing this, right? But like when I blame it on like, oh, I should do this for my job, I should do this for whatever, I can do stuff for other people and have like total balls. Like I can be very brave. Like I can stand up to like the meanest people when it comes to like people disrespecting my friends, or like doing something that I find is like really not great, or even for strangers. I can do it for other people, but when it comes for me, I'm like, I need to have that same fight power. But like honestly, I sometimes don't. So I can do really brave things for my business, and I can, you know, I'm sitting here across the country from like the majority of the people that I know in real life, And I'm just kind of doing it because this is what my business requires me to do. It requires me to live in a place that like is not comfortable for me, and I can do that. And like I feel a little bit like my country bumpkin self is a little bit of a badass. Like whenever I drive to like a really big city and I drive through and I see the skyscrapers, and I'm just like, how did a girl from a little rural town like get to like have this life? And I'm like pretty comfortable doing that. So it's just me like trying to be comfortable at actually following through on what I want, because the stakes wouldn't be so high and I wouldn't be so insecure if like it wasn't exactly what I kind of think I want, right? So like I'm super excited about going on these dates because these people I really like, instead of just picking people that I didn't like. So this is the first time too where it's like very honed in on what I think that I will enjoy. And so I'm feeling my womanly energy thing. I'm feeling a little bit insecure, but I'm also like doing the things that like bring me closer to the actual what makes me excited. And I think it's normal to be like pump the brakes and be like have like a little bit of a freak out, and that's kind of what I did. So like when you're, for me, all of last week it was very flirty, and I had a lot of like those good hormones like in my body. But this week was very different, and there was not a lot of flirting, and so it's like back to my normal like thought process and everything, and like my normal hormones of like whatever my body is doing. It's not pumped full of like love hormones or whatever, and so therefore it gives me a little bit more time to like rationally think about things. And whatever my brain is doing, it's like maybe not rationally thinking about them. It's just like creating reasons why this shouldn't work out. Like, not that I'm a pessimist, like as far as, you know, this kind of thing goes, but I'm just like, it gave me more time to like just think about it and kind of like pick it apart a little bit. So that's where the insecurities kind of like came into play. And I need to just have more exposure with dealing with this heightened insecurity and then getting through it. I just need to have more experience doing that, is all I think. But maybe I just need to like own it better a little bit too. I'm not sure. I'll try to work on that. I'll try to just like be more comfortable like in my own skin, which I feel like I am pretty comfortable, but like I need to get more comfortable in order to like just fully be who I am in my head to who I am on the outside. I feel like they're very similar right now, but I know that there's a little bit of a gap, and I would super love it if I could just be how I want it to be seen as. Because then I could get what I want from other people and they could get what they want back from me, and it would be a brand new experience for me, because I've never really tried to have a connection with a guy like that, with this type of mindset, with this type of lifestyle, with, you know, with whatever's going on in this term of my life. So anyways, that was what I was working on this week. I had some nice talks with my friends about it. So everybody has different experiences because everybody has their own thing of what's going on, but I found it to be really helpful to just know that this was kind of like normal, like not being like at whatever stage with whatever your goals are. I feel like that's pretty normal to like have a goal or have like a desire for something, and then to like work a little bit to get there, and then you see a little bit of that goal or whatever come to fruition, and then you get a little bit uncomfortable, you get a little bit of imposter syndrome, you get a little bit of like, can I really do this? Am I really deserving of this? Blah, 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 blah. And then once you've like lived in that for a little while at least, then you get more comfortable in this new setting. So I'm just trying to get more comfortable in the new setting where like I'm assertive and confident and outwardly to other people, because I can be that to myself all day long here by myself, right? And it's very easy to like do that behind a text wall or whatever, or even on the phone. But to be that in person and to be consistently that in person, is just something I'm gonna have to work on, and I want to work on that because I want to be seen as how I think I am. So that was what was happening this week. So I don't really have intense like goals or hopes or dreams for these people, but like I do have an expectation for like myself, and I feel like that's a little bit better than putting the expectation onto them. It's like, if you can just like work it out, own it, then I feel like that would be progress. And it would be progress with people that I want to, the types of people that I want to invite into my life. It would be much easier. Like, it was super easy to go on that date with the farmer's market person. I didn't have these types of insecurities at all before I went, because like I really didn't care. And so I don't think that I really need just willy-nilly type of practice. I need practice with like someone that makes me excited. So I just need to get better at that. And I think the only way you can get better at that is doing. This is a sparkling water with Myers lemons. I don't know if it's just like my COVID like taste buds or whatever. My COVID messed up taste buds from like the first time I had it. The Myers lemon, super amazing. Tastes so different than like the other types of lemons that they sell in like regular grocery stores. So I got like a bag of them at Costco the last time I was at Costco, and ever since I've been, I know I need to tell you this, but I slice them all up and I lay them flat on a piece of parchment on a cookie sheet, and then I freeze them flat like that, and then I put them in my little silicone bags, and then it serves like, I'll take out the frozen slice and it serves as like, I will have lemon water for a very long time, like whenever I want it, because they don't go bad in the freezer like that, right? So I'm sure they could get freezer burnt, but anyways, versus like leaving them out and just trying to like use them up. So it also cools down the water. It serves like as an ice cube that doesn't dilute whatever your drink is. Which is kind of nice. Little hack. I don't know why I told you that. So anyways, I don't really have any like New Year's Eve plans or that are like specifically like pegged down yet. Like, it's mostly like, oh, that would be good to do. So I think I'm just going to ride out the rest of the year working really hard and kind of organizing myself. My business is doing crummy, and I kind of understood that might happen if I put effort into other places, but I'm okay with like letting that go a tiny bit, because this other area of my life needs attention. So it's okay. I am internally freaking out a little bit about that, but it's okay. It needs to happen. So I think in the next couple of days before the new year, I will just try to get as organized as possible. The reason why is because I think the 1st of January I want to incorporate. I haven't had any sort of incorporation at all. Not incorporate, LLC it. I want to get one of those for my business so that I can sell on a specific platform that is a little bit more risky to sell on, and I kind of want to do that to expand my market. And I wanted to have my business with the LLC start on January 1st. So that's, I guess that's why I'm talking about like my work thing now. That has nothing to do with like, you know, what I've been talking about, but it's like in the back of my head I like want to like juggle all these things, and I like want to push forward, but it's just like making the time. And it's kind of good that like I don't really have any plans that are set in stone for what's going on, and that I have a little bit of leeway in between when my next maybe date would be with the short-term person. It got pushed back like a week. So I'm gonna try to use the rest of this time to just kind of get organized, and then to feel good and go into it with my best version of the now. So I'll let you know how that all goes. I hope that your New Year's plans are much more fun than mine. If you have specific ones, let me know what you guys are doing. I would love to hear. I always want to know anything that's like super like traditional or fun. I ever have like a traditional thing that I did. I was always just kind of like, oh, what's everybody else doing? So I hope that you guys are having a wonderful, what's today, Friday, a wonderful end to your week, and you're going into the weekend or whatever, super excited for New Year's. And I will see you next week, and hopefully I have some more updates about what's going on. Today's gonna be a tiny bit short so that I can get to my work, but I will see you guys soon. Thank you for watching.